So often people have this question: is it worth it to buy long-term care insurance? And again, long-term care insurance is not something that we love probably thinking about, but it's something you start talking about a lot in your 40s and 50s, right? So I am Chad Smith. I'm here with Mike Eklund, back for another episode. And talking through this idea we talked about in our podcast today, it's one of those situations where you're thinking, okay, what are my options, right? I start with, I could either self-insure, which means I
pay
could
for your bank account, retirement accounts,
right,
investment accounts,
which a lot of people choose to do, but there's also a long-term care insurance option.
Yep.
And as you're thinking through that option, you have a couple of different ideas in how the levels of care could pay out for you, right? Because there's an elimination period that you got to go through, kind of like a deductible on health insurance.
Yep.
And then you have the amount per day that you're going to choose to pay or choose to help you pay for your health insurance. How long will that pay out for? And what is that total amount? So those are some of the things that you're thinking through as you're making this decision.
It's complicated. I mean, even as you brought up right there, it's a complicated topic. And for a lot of folks to begin with, it's a question of, do you need long-term care insurance? You know, what is it? What it will cover? And, you know, when should I look to get it?
Yeah, some of the statistics that we found this time around, I think, were alarming. I mean, 70% of people potentially could need some sort of long-term care insurance or long-term care expenses, right, at some point or another. And if you have that level of care, now some of those are going to be short periods, so you got to be aware of that. We understand that aspect. But I think one of the ones I shared in the episode, 1 in 10 men will stay longer than 5 years in a facility, and then 2 in 10 women will stay longer than 5 years. That could be substantial.
That's the big risk.
Right.
And everyone has memories of family members or friends that had that experience, and they don't want them to happen to them too.
Yeah, that's that sandwich generation is when we start thinking about this, right? Because you start caring for your parents. You're also caring for your kids, but maybe that's on the back end, caring for your kids. Yeah. I guess you're paying college expenses,
that's
right?
True. And
you're kind of on the back end of that, but you're thinking about how your parents have been through this, and then that often can create a bias in how you look at this situation. So is that reminiscent of some of the conversations you had around long-term care with clients?
It's not a very popular topic. Not many people like to talk about. It's kind of like estate documents, one of those you just want to keep kicking the can down the road. But it's a good podcast talking about the pros and cons of long-term care insurance versus just doing what a lot of folks do, just use their retirement assets.
Right. So we went through a couple of the most asked questions around long-term care insurance. How much does it cost? What are the options?
Yep.
What are some of those statistics? And then the one that everybody wants to know, is it worth it?
Yep.
And not to give it all away, but it is highly specific for your situation. But we do talk about some scenarios of what a self-insured situation could look like and or what outsourcing it and what the cost would be for health or for the long-term care insurance. So it gives you some perspective. And again, the idea for us, we just want you to be educated in making the decision.
Yeah. We just provide the information and let you make the choice.
Trying to take the emotions out of it the best you can, because that's generally when you make the best decisions with your money.
Exactly.
So if you have other questions, you could listen to the episode. We have a full 30-minute episode on that. You could read the blog post below if you're watching this on our website. Otherwise, you could check out all the other videos that we have accumulated now on our YouTube channel.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.